That's our upkeep. Now we're going to transition to the main phase.
Transition.
What would you do with $100,000?
I will say, I also wrote down business ideas in my main phase thing as well. So I don't know if you wrote anything for business.
Oh, like business ideas?
Yeah. Do you have any business
Well,
ideas?
do you have multiple business ideas?
Not really. I think we both have the same business idea.
I think so.
Yeah.
But we'll get there with the podcast.
Absolutely.
So who wants to go first? Unless you want to volunteer.
No, I don't know.
All right.
We're going to rock, paper, scissors
Go
on
on.
an audio format.
Yeah, go on, go.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
For those keeping track at home in the audio format, we just did scissors twice, and then I chose rock, and he still chose scissors, and I beat him.
I'm a scissors guy.
He likes the scissors.
So, alright. What would I do with $100,000?
That's the question. That is the first $100,000 you get in your life. What are you doing with it?
Dude, I estimated myself that this would take me 5 years to do. I think I could get $100,000 in 5 years. I would not be a happy person, because like that would be like less magic and stuff like that. But I feel like I could do $100,000 in 5 years.
What was the train of thought that you got to get there? Like how did you get to that number of 5 years?
I estimated that I make about $25,000 a year, salary-wise.
Right. So you just were like...
That times 4, plus I took one of those years because obviously rent and groceries and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah. But like I said, I would not be a nice person because...
You wouldn't be able to pay for anything personally.
Exactly. So it wouldn't be great.
Gotcha.
I also wanted to note that when I did this list, I quickly learned $100,000 is not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money.
Which sounds weird to say.
20 years ago, it was a lot more money.
That's fair. So yeah, let's say that I am a happy person, and this was just lottery. Here's $100,000 that I won in the lottery. Per se. My list is $5,000 on rec, which is just like recreational stuff like magic cards and video games, and I assume that I would not be able to put all of this money to the side. I knew I was going to spend some on that, so I just clumped it together.
Absolutely.
$20,000 on quitting my job for 1 year. So I quit my...
Taking a year off.
Taking a year off. Still have $20,000 in the bank for groceries and rent and yada, yada, yada. $75,000 left if you're keeping track. Now this is where it gets interesting.
This is the nitty gritty now, is it?
This is no, the majority.
Oh, the majority.
$65,000 on a store.
Okay.
The Westward Merchant.
Okay.
Is the store name, Westward Merchant. It sells board games, card games, with a heavy list of magic. Like, it's a lot of magic, but it does sell Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and
Other board games.
And such.
Like Sheriff of Nottingham
and
Coop. And Risk we have somewhere
Risk
here.
somewhere. We're board game people. Also has a small food truck right in the middle of the fucking building. Oh, that's cringe. Right? But that food truck acts as a pop-up only, which, in case you don't know, that means like it would be like Wednesdays and Fridays. Food truck. Food truck's not there all the time.
So, like, in a literal sense, would the food truck always be there, or would you take it home?
No, like it's like a food truck-ish, like a diner area, I suppose. So it's always there.
Okay.
So I guess like when... Another thing here, let me get to this first.
Sure.
I would also do magic nights and board game nights and stuff at the store. People can come in and play, stuff like that. So I suppose on days where the food truck isn't there, you would just use those tables that you have set up for the food truck area.
I would even argue that on the magic nights, you'd want to have the food truck on.
That's a possibility.
You want to have
That's fair.
You have all those people there anyway.
That's good business.
That is
good business.
You gotta feed the people, brother.
Also, a small arcade/pool area. Pool as in like...
In the store or in your home? Okay.
This is... essentially, it's a store that's more of a rec area. Like,
gotcha.
You know, teenagers come and do stuff. And well, not do stuff. Teenagers come and hang out and stuff. And buy magic and burgers from my food truck.
Magic, burgers, board games. Those are big...
My favorite things.
Big hitters right there.
I also want to note that this arcade and pool area and like hockey, what's that?
Air hockey?
Air hockey, all that table is run on a card system, not coins. It's like a card from Dave & Buster's.
Okay, yeah, like a membership card.
Yeah, exactly. That way, because I felt selfish because I didn't really set aside any money for you or my other friends or whatever. Mm-hmm. So a couple lucky people would get like platinum cards, and then they could just go ham. And that's your gift, because if I got $100,000 and I didn't give you any, I'd feel a little upset. But if I got $100,000, opened up a business and gave you a platinum card, I'd be like, here you go. You know what I mean?
And so with the platinum, like not just the platinum, but the membership card, will it have like say discounts in store and stuff, or would that just be for the arcade?
It's probably just for the arcade, if I'm being honest.
No. I didn't know if maybe it was like a pay for the membership and you get discounts in the store and that kind of stuff.
Well, no, because it's not like a membership thing. It's like a platinum card for you. Okay. Whereas the other people, they buy a card, and they're like, $20 on it, and I swipe it. They get $20 on the card.
So it's not like they'd have like a monthly like subscription per se.
No, it's like, you just get $20. And if you keep the plastic, that's great. And if you don't, then I have to bring in more plastic, and I hate you, essentially.
So do the turtles.
So do the turtle. I hate the turtles. $10,000 left if you're keeping track.
I was not.
So, the next category after the store is...
So all of that for $65,000.
Small arcade, yeah, I was thinking. Let's go $30,000 on a nice building.
Okay.
$10,000 on a kitchen area and tables for the food truck.
Okay.
Which brings me to... That's $25,000 left for some arcade games, pool tables, and some like starting up supplies. Inventory, yeah. You don't think so?
Realistically, I think you're going to be spending a lot more on that building.
$30,000? More than $30,000 on a building? You think?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, are you serious?
Have you looked at our economy lately?
I mean, I just kind of judged off of what the square footage of this building is and how much we pay for this per month.
That's not a great basis.
Well, it's kind of... Because this building is a good size. If you take off some walls.
I think you'd at least have to pay $50,000 to own a building.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
To own a building, it'd probably be at least $50,000.
Oh, well, maybe I could rent it, though. It is just a business.
Sure. You have to be making profit after year one.
I mean, I do have 1 year, and then I have to go back to work.
That's what I'm saying. So this will be your work, right?
This would become my new job. It is like a 1 year ride or die.
Of course.
Yeah.
Show up or blow up.
However, I do have a backup plan, but we'll get there.
Okay.
$500 to family, and then I have, in quotations, 4 specific people that I would give $500 to. Obviously, I'm not going to name drop them.
Okay.
Because this is a public podcast. But just know that comes to $2,000.
Yeah.
And then $3,000 specifically to my mom and dad. Because I'm a good guy.
Oh, so they weren't in the 4 people?
No, they weren't in the 4 people. If you want to look at the 4 people,
I do.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
I do. Oh, no, I think I do.
Yeah, and then that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just essentially aunts and uncles.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's actually not even essentially. It's just aunts and uncles.
I would argue that that's 6 people.
Well, like these 2 get $500. They can share themselves. I'm not giving them each $500.
The moral of the story here is, if you're married, you're shit out of luck. Yes. But if you're single, the money is all yours.
That's fair. $3,000 to mom and dad because they helped me.
Yeah, they birthed you.
They birthed me. So if you're keeping track, we have $5,000 left.
Well, it's not.
$5,000 is how much I'm spending in my next thing. So all the money's gone after this to a comic company for a startup comic book. I'm just asking for like 3 issues. We'll send them out there. If they get good reviews, then boom, I start a comic series.
Let's hear it. Do you have any ideas for the comic series?
Yes. Superhero-ish. Well, not ish. Superhero story. There's some superheroes they fight. We'll get into that later at an episode.
Oh, you want to save that?
That's like a whole... I could go on. I have 18 specific heroes and villains and stuff.
Wow, you really thought this out.
Well, because originally it's an animated TV show, but I didn't have enough money with only $100,000. So I was like, I could turn it into a comic book.
Gotcha.
If I had $1 million, I'd make it an animated
Maybe
TV
you will
show.
after those first 3 copies.
Maybe after... That's a good point. We could make it into a show.
Maybe.
because I do have
Maybe Netflix picks you up.
That's a possibility. I had 3 TV shows planned
For this?
Yeah, and then I was like, I could not do this with $100,000. 3 TV shows, not going to get off the ground. 2 of them didn't work well as comic books. Obviously, the animated superhero one that I had planned, that worked great as a comic book. So I was like, screw it. $5,000, I bet I could do a comic book for that. So that's what I did. Where,
do you have a name for the comic book? Can you at least...
No, I don't have a name. No.
All right. Hit us at least with the main character's name.
Well, there's like a couple of them. So like the Superman version, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't have a name locked down on him, but I can describe him.
Yeah, that's fine.
He is a dragon humanoid.
Okay.
Essentially bulletproof from our...
Like a dragon born from D&D?
Yes. That's a very... But he has wings, which Dragonborn in D&D, I believe, are wingless.
I believe so, yeah.
He has wings, because wings are cool. He is orange tinted.
Okay.
And his main weapon of choice are 2 maces.
Maces?
Yes, the storyline being he's from a different dimension, where he essentially was just cannon fodder. However, when he got magically teleported to our realm, and he's seen how weak and warbound humans were, and that we were keep getting invaded by other dimensions, he took a vow to help humans. Whereas there was another one, same species from the same dimension. They actually knew each other.
Wow.
This guy is gray tinted. Essentially the same person, except for instead of maces, he uses axes.
Okay.
A little bit more violent, and he's gray. He's essentially the foil, which is a comic trope or whatever. And when he came and saw humans and how weak they were, he vowed to take over the world. So that's like the main plot.
And so the other guy was vowing to save them.
Yeah, he was like, these guys are so weak, they need my help.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the other guy was like, these guys are so weak, I could take this world over.
Okay.
So that's kind of the main one, and there's a bunch of different
And that's the main guy and the main villain, right?
Essentially, yeah.
And you don't have any names for them? You just have...
Yeah, because it's just like, they're just dragging people, like Drovon. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Is that a good guy name or a bad guy name?
Drovon. It's the good guy.
That's the good guy.
Yeah. Garak.
I was thinking something with a K for the bad.
That's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's
good.
good.
Garak is a G, isn't it?
I mean K at the end, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Garak and Dovon.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Don't steal this idea from me.
If you do, at least,
credit me.
Yeah.
Put a character in there named Wes.
It's also a little money his way, even, maybe.
$5,000. That's how much.
That's all he's asking for.
That's what I'm asking. So yeah, that if you're keeping track, that is $0. That's me.
That's you. I'll be honest here. You kept track a lot more than I did.
Oh, so you think you're going over?
No, I mean, like you broke it down.
Oh,
and you kept us keeping track. I mean, when I was listening, I wasn't following along, keeping track as well as you let us keep track.
No worries. Yeah, I do feel like that will be a common theme in this podcast. Is I'll probably be more notey.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll be honest here. Yeah, my main one is obviously, pay off any debt.
Are you in debt right now?
Well, I mean, I just got a car.
Oh,
I have a credit card.
That's fair.
Just with the car and the credit card, let's round that to like $10,000, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna pump every last cent of the last bit in to just owning a pawn shop / local card shop.
So that's $10,000 payoff debt, $90,000 pawn shop.
Because again, I feel like
no, that's fair. No,
it's gonna cost a lot.
I gave you a platinum card to my arcade.
Well, no, so like I'm
not getting anything.
You're gonna be employed here.
Oh,
that's the dream, remember?
that's fair. That is our dream, actually. Yeah.
You're not offering me employment, which I'm kind of hurt about. I'm offering you employment here.
That's fair. No, you got me there. I didn't offer you a job. I gave you a platinum card to my arcade. I'm a loser.
I mean, yeah, I think that once we get that going,
maybe I spin off.
Yeah, maybe
start my own show.
I mean, maybe if it's a big enough
building
property, we can throw in that little food truck too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And would you say just burgers, or were you doing other things too? Maybe hot dogs.
I think burgers would be my specialty. Like we'd have like 6 different burgers, but obviously for the kids who came up and were like, "I want a hot dog."
You gotta put some fries on the grill too.
Oh, fries, yeah.
You gotta fry that.
Wait, I can't. It's hard to make fries special. It's like fries are fries.
Well, the Kinsman.
That's
name dropped. I mean, I'm sure people don't even know what that is, but the Kinsman fries.
I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah. That's true. They do have special fries.
And they're like a pop-up, essentially.
They are.
That's why it's so special.
That's true. They're like once a year, and it's been like 3 years since I've had Kinsman because of this.
Because of the pandemic.
This virus.
Yeah.
Man. I bet when Kinsman comes, like the first time they pop up after this, they're going to be lined to the Blue Bridge.
Yeah.
Which is references most of our listeners will probably understand, actually, let's be real.
Oh, you mean back home, the Blue Bridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I assume they would be in where they normally get
Right.
lined to the Blue Bridge, yeah.
Do you have anything more you wanted to add to either of our ideas here?
Well, I think you should go into detail about your pawn shop.
I mean, honestly, I know yours was like, what's the name of yours? The Westward?
The Westward Merchant.
That's a little wordy, I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, it's my idea.
Mine's just going to be Bushy's buy and sell, because that's,
Fair. No, that's good.
That's
Bushy's buy and sell. I like
the
it.
two B's,
Yes.
Bushy's buy and sell. And, I mean, I'm hoping that it'll be similar to, like, one of our local card shops, Lancelot, where it has multiple floors. So you can, like, you have the main floor and then have your game floor and that kind of stuff.
That's fair. I was a one-floor store.
Were you?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
For $30,000.
I was going to say, I don't think you really laid that, like, the layout of your store.
For 30, yeah, I wasn't asked for a lot.
I'm also going to be having, like, comics in the shop, too. I know you're not really big on that, but comics and video games are going to be...
I like comics.
Yeah.
One of my things was starting a comic series.
But, like, you don't buy, like,
That's
comics
fair.
physically. You typically go online.
Steal them.
I wasn't going to steal
I do own every Walking Dead comic.
That's fair.
So.
That's fair.
And I own one issue twice.
Which one's that?
The issue 100 where Glenn gets fucking... Or Cap. When Glenn gets his face bashed in. I bought that a second time because Glenn was my favorite. So I have the actual comic in the collection, or compendium. And then I have the other one framed on my wall, just like as there.
Wouldn't that be your least favorite?
Well, it is, but it's almost like it's a spiritual...
Loss.
Yeah. This is where he got taken away from me. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have bought it twice. I should have shunned that one. I should have bought every single other one twice.
Yeah, realistically. Every single one that had him in it.
Yeah.
Up until that one.
That's fair.
And maybe any flashbacks. Does he have any flashback of the comics?
I don't think so, no.
Oh.
No, not really.
Okay. He should have been.
They don't do a lot of flashbacks in the comics.
Really?
Those can get complicated because it's all
That's fair,
crime.
yeah.
Flashbacks in the TV show is fine, but like comic flashbacks, it's like...
Some of the Batman comics I've been reading, like, they do a lot of back and forth, and it is pretty hard to follow.
Yeah, well, just because it's hard to translate in comics. Like in the show, a lot of times when there's a flashback, it's done in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh, it's a flashback?
Yeah, that's the other thing, like, because Walking Dead specifically is black and white. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. With the Batman ones, they're in color, but, like, there's usually, like, a square of text that says, like, the time. Like, what the date is or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do we have... I mean, I feel like I've said all I can really say. Like,
Well,
it's basically your idea.
You said you were going to employ me. You should explain what I'm doing. Or like...
Well, I mean, obviously you're going to be security because you have the security background. But, I mean, I feel like you can work the counter and stuff, too.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what you're doing.
I could do certain stuff. I mean, it's a pawn shop. It's really... You just look up the price.
Yeah, it's a computer. It's
Is
like,
there- is
being
there-
a pilot at this point. You just the plane flies itself.
Plane flies itself. All I gotta do
flies
is land.
Yeah, and hardly even that now.
Most planes land.
Exactly.
Actually, all planes eventually land.
That's true.
Is there a third person who would be working for us?
No.
Nope. There is not.
No, I guess we'd let Austin Q work. Yeah, you gotta have more than two people working for you, right?
Yeah, two people kind of sounds
hard, challenging, even.
Those aren't the words I was going for.
What do you mean? Sorry, what were you going for?
Gay.
Wow.
But that's not bad.
That's not what I was going. I was just saying, like, for shift wise, you gotta.
That's fair. Yeah, that's actually a good
That's
point.
why I was saying challenge.
Yeah, nah, that's a good point. Shifts.
It would either be one of us working and not the other, or both of us working and not getting any time off. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Although I feel like for you, it's not really a job. You're sitting in front of Magic the entire day.
It's fair. It's fair. Yeah.
Literally your day to day.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me aside from that about the comic shop or the game shop?
Not really. Do you have a dream location? Where would you put this? Would you stay in Bridgewater? Spoilers. We're in Bridgewater, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's as specific as we're going to get.
Which Bridgewater?
Which Bridgewater?
I mean, yeah, I guess you'd want it to be ideally in a more populated area, but where we live, I guess that's more populated. I mean, you'd have to move 3 hours one way or 3 hours the other to get more populated, and that's a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big hassle.
See, yeah, mine was like, I didn't have an attachment specifically here, although it would be nice because with $100,000, I don't want to buy a building for a store and then also buy a new building to live in.
Right.
So I was kind of planning on staying here and doing
nice.
that or whatever. Nice. But one area I can tell you I would not want to go to, Truro in Nova Scotia.
Jeez.
I would not want to go there for a business because...
I hear there's a high crime rate there.
Well, that's that too, but I could fend them off.
That's fair. You are security.
The main thing is, I would not want to take away business from Cooper's Cabin in Truro.
Cooper's Cabin is an amazing game
good
shop.
store, and I would not want to take away any other business because they deserve everythything they get.
That's not a threat. That is a compliment.
It's a compliment. Did that come off as threatening?
Kind of a little bit.
Oh, okay.
They deserve everything.
Yeah, right.
They get.
Oh man, if they burn down today, that's gonna look sussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were also just sticking around for your location. You said, yeah.
Yeah. That was just.
Did you have any marketing techniques that you were hoping to employ for it?
Good burger.
Good burger.
You come for the food, you stay for the magic, or ironically, the other way around.
There you go.
You come for the magic and you stay for the food.
I mean, let's be realistic. There's nobody playing Magic that ain't eating a burger.
That's fair. If you come and play Magic, and you're playing with your own damn cards, you can eat a burger.
Yeah.
If you're maybe boring one of the pre-mates.
Now, will it be just Magic, or do you plan on doing like Yu-Gi-Oh nights and board game nights in general? Like maybe during the day, maybe not.
Board game nights, easy for sure. I would definitely plan on doing those. Yu-Gi-Oh nights, I'm not really into Yu-Gi-Oh that much.
I mean, I'm sure you could have somebody. I'm sure the second you wrote Yu-Gi-Oh night on a board, somebody would just fly in through the door and just tell you how to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
You?
No, I'm not.
Gi-Oh.
I'm not that great at it. I'm alright.
Alright, well, yeah, I suppose if I advertise Yu-Gi-Oh, people would come.
Sorry, and then to follow back at some board game shops just let you. Remember when we went to Face to Face in Toronto? They were letting you like play games during the day and stuff. Would you do that, or would it be just like board game nights?
I feel like board games could be whenever. I'd probably schedule Magic nights.
That's easier to get.
But like if you come
like
in,
if a group of people came in and was like,
can we play this?
Yeah. I see you got Sheriff of Nottingham there. Can we
play it?
I want to try it. Maybe we'll buy it.
Maybe
we love it.
And maybe we don't.
I assume with something like that though, would you make them buy like a membership card to play those games? Maybe?
Well, it'd probably be like Face to Face, where it's like there's certain shelf of already opened games, maybe.
Right.
And like, oh, you want to play?
But like,
this
you
game?
already have the arcade and stuff set up. Would you charge them to play with the board games as well as the arcade?
Oh, you know.
I feel like it's hard to disclude one thing from the other. You know.
It would be hard to charge them for the board game. Like, oh yeah, you can play this board game once, but you know what you could do is you could charge them for table time.
Yeah.
So like, oh, you want to go sit at this table with that board game for an hour, $5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There you go.
I mean, it would be hard to say like, hey, all those machines you gotta pay to use, but the board games, those are free to play.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Buy a burger.
Buy a burger.
While you're there.
Don't play our board games unless you're buying your own and playing with it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Trying to think of anything else I can add to this. Not really. I mean, I suppose I would probably sell some comics as well. Just Walking Dead ones. Although not really, because they're all done. So.
Oh, is the comic series done?
Yeah, comic series is done. Yeah, 195 issues.
So, thank you for listening to our Dragon's Den speech. Now, if any of you investors want to say yes,
that's a fair point. You have two proposals here.
Yeah.
Westward Merchant and the Bushy Bond.
He is asking for a lot less money up front.
$65,000 for 50%.
50%? Holy crap. Alright.
Is that a lot?
No.
40. Okay, 30. Take it or leave it.
You can't keep going down.
Oh.
Yikes. What do you say we move into the combat phase? Are you done here?
Are you ready for this?
I thought I was.
Okay, yeah, I'm down to move the combat phase. I don't know how long it's been. We probably should have timed it, but 27 minutes perhaps?
Perhaps. I really don't know.
So,